Welcome to everybody here for our monthly gratitude circle, our gratitude soiree, where we come together each month and we celebrate the gratitude that has come to us, that we've experienced for the last 4 weeks since our last one. This is our sixth gratitude soiree, and each month we have amazing speakers. This month we are really blessed to have Emily Rivera here to speak to us and to share her work and her mission with all of us tonight. And as always, we have our founder of Hizan International, Eileen Norris, who I'd love to welcome to the stage. Her family and her established Hizan International with the mission to promote and create opportunities to improve people's lives. And the way that they do that is through these events where they bring amazing leaders from all around the world to connect with individuals and nourish our mind, our body, our spirit. And they also provide the main thing they do, which is to provide a scholarship and mentorship programs for single moms who are pursuing a higher education. And they also get paired with a mentor for a year, which is just wonderful. I know a few people who have become mentors, including my dad, and I'm just so happy whenever I talk to him. He's just thrilled with the whole program and his mentee who he works with. So I just want to really highlight Eileen and the work that she's been doing and continues to do. And I'll bring her to the stage without further ado to welcome everybody in and also to welcome Emily.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Eric. That was such a wonderful welcome. I want to just take a moment to thank you, Eric, for your time, for the dedication that you've put forth in participating and co-hosting our Gratitude Soiree every month. And I want to thank you for creating this lovely space so that we can have a discussion about the power of gratitude. And I also want to just thank you for reminding us each and every month for the past 6 sessions to come together. So we can hear insightful and visionaries and talk about their journey and their stories. And today I'm so excited to share with you that we have Emily Rivera here, and she's a dear friend, and I'm so excited to share her with you to talk about the secret of living a life with purpose. And to just give you a little bit of an idea of who she is, she's really amazing. She's the angel coach, and she's internationally known. She's a leading expert in intuition in helping people, adults and children, with heightened sensitivities and abilities. And she has been intuitive all her life, and she offers insightful messages ever since she was a child. And for over a decade now, she has professionally supported individuals and helped them connect to the divine and share and offer answers and tools and strategies in creating a life with purpose. And she has done that for me, and it's really amazing. And that's why I'm so excited that she is here with us. She provides that guidance. She provides that fulfillment and just like a feeling of bliss, of understanding. And she also wanted to share that she has worked with and helped individuals that are, corporate executives, celebrities, influencers, as well as individuals as myself. And today, this evening, she'll share with us her passion to help others and how she helped individuals live a life of gratitude. And I just wanted to say thank you so much, Emily, for accepting and for joining our gratitude circle. And we welcome you. Thank you so much, Emily, for being here with us.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Aileen, for a beautiful introduction. And hi, Eric. I appreciate the introduction as well. And welcome, everyone. I am beyond honored and grateful to be here and excited to share. It's interesting, right? Because I get to meditate and I get to ask and invite for how I can serve all of you that felt inspired to be here, called to be here, and everyone that said yes to this invitation. And the words they said is gratitude within and through all things. And they kept showing me so many different things that sometimes in life, we don't always get what we expect, right? So that's so easy. It's so easy for us to feel thankful and gratitude and in that state of celebration when things are going the way we expect them to go, or where things turn out the way we're expecting them to turn out. And it's very easy to be in that state of appreciation and celebration when, and I'm moving energy to that. For those hearing me for the first time, you may hear me, I know it's going to sound weird, but you may hear me burp, you may hear me big swallow, or you'll hear me like make like a little sound as I'm talking. That's usually energy moving. And the reason it's moving is because it's very easy to be in a state of appreciation when things are in that state of alignment of what we expect. But when they're not, that's when we may find the human in a challenge or in challenging circumstances in taking time to appreciate the moment and appreciate the gift within the challenge, within the chaos, and within everything that's going on. And what I'm hearing, and the reason they wanted to talk about that is because it's going to be very relevant to all of us, right? It's going to be very relevant to some of you who might be going through some stuff, and how in this moment we get to come together and lean in and experience the power, the gift of gratitude, so that miracles can start right now and that miracles can carry us through the days to come. And I see a lot of people that I know and guests and students. Hello. I'm so grateful that you joined. I know that we had shared that there's also going to be a guest with us, which is not, it's one of those things that this is actually perfect with the conversation, right? That sometimes things don't align as expected, but there's always a gift when things show up exactly the way they show up. And it's so perfect, right? Because it fits, literally, it's like this perfect wink, this perfect opportunity for us to be in the, I love that, yes. For us to move into the gratitude through overflow and through absence. So as we start, as we begin this conversation together, I want you to take a moment and together, let's just take in a deep breath. And then release when you're ready. And another deep breath. And release when you're ready. And one more breath. And release when you're ready. And in this moment, with your eyes open or closed, I want you to think of something that you can really take time to appreciate and experience gratitude for in your life. And they're reminding me, and I did write this on my notes, that some of you, it's very easy to embrace the thought, the concept, the idea of gratitude through that word, gratitude. But for some of you, that means thank you. For some of you, that means appreciating and appreciation. For some of you, it's the word amen. So whatever word resonates with you that helps you to lean in and to thank you, thank you, thank you. For you to feel that sense of everything is working out as it should be. That there's more that is leading, thank you, and guiding and blessing my life and my moment to moment to moment. Just find that thing in your life that you could just really allow yourself to lean into appreciating, feeling thankful for, feeling gratitude, or celebrating with an amen. And now I want you to take a moment to identify something in your life that might be a challenge. Thank you. I'm hearing the word that you consider, that you may be considering as a challenge, as a letdown, as something that is not matching what you would want it to be. And in that same way that you appreciated, say thank you, and celebrated that before this, go ahead and do that now. In whatever way honors you, just thank it, appreciate it, and offer the amen if that's what resonates. And then together, let's take in a deep breath. When you're ready, let go. And taking in another deep breath. And when you're ready, let go. All right, and you can open your eyes if they're not open yet. So one of my prayers and invitations for tonight is for everyone in this call, whether you're live or on replay, for you to experience the power, the miracle, the joy of the gift of gratitude. And the reason I'm saying that is because some of you will experience it through tingling to heat. I'm feeling very hot right now. Heat through my body. Some of you might get chills. Some of you might just feel giddy or happy. Some of you may get thoughts. Some of you may get ideas. Some of you may get a call or a text that in some level represents something to acknowledge as a miracle. But I want you to just notice and be present to whatever way it shows up for you, because one of the things that I celebrate over and over and over and over and over again, that when an intention is set, especially when we come together, energy's moving to that. Where an intention is set, when we come together, more will follow and we will see miracles show up in every way possible, uniquely to each of us. So before we continue with everything else that they gave me, they're actually audibly, so thank you, they're asking for me to articulate what this means. So as Aileen mentioned, I've been seeing, hearing, and playing with angels since I was a little girl. So this is my normal. And I've come to witness that in so many ways, we're never, ever, ever doing life alone. But it's very easy to forget. It's very easy to forget. And the reality is that it's mainstream not to really talk about how much we're being loved and supported through all our experiences and through life itself. But one of the things that the angels have taught me since a little girl, and they remind me often now as an adult, as a mom, as a teacher, as a business owner, as a partner, is that we are being invited daily to celebrate and appreciate that which is on its way. That which is on its way. Because we can get very lost in the illusion of what's right in front of us, right? What's been touched, what's been seen, what's been heard, what's been experienced. But there's so much that is on its way to us. There's so much that it's overflow. Thank you. They're saying an overflow, trying to touch, to meet us, to lead us, to guide us, and coming our way. So as we begin, because we're here collectively, and I saw there was 44 people on the call, which by the way is so delicious, and it's 8:44 my time. 44 represents angels. It represents that literally the message I just said. This is so auspicious, right? That we are always being loved, guided, supported in every way possible. So as we come together, I want to invite you right now to take a moment to, whether you call it make a wish, put an invitation, say yes to a delicious vision that you are wanting to experience, calling in a love, calling in a healing. Oh, I get yummy chills everywhere. Just saying yes to what it is that is wanting to come to you, and allow yourself, and together, we're going to do this together. And I'm going to just show, I'm actually going to teach you a tool here that the angels taught me. And together as a collective, we are going to begin or continue our time here together with that state of invitation. And some of you may call it manifesting. But I like to celebrate that this is a yes, a celebration, appreciation, a thank you, a moment of gratitude to what is on its way. So what you're going to do, take a moment to identify what area would you like to see more joy in? What area would you like to experience more awe and wonder and playfulness and passion and enjoyment? What area in your life that if that switch turned on, it would get you excited. It would get you turned on with life. It will get you just, they're saying twinkle toes. It would have you in twinkle toes. They used to say this to me, you know, that idea that you're like dancing, like that twinkle toe. So what area in your life would you love to see that kind of miracle unfold? So let's begin there. Thank you. And we're doing this together. And now that you've identified the area, what would that look like? And a lot of times when it comes to manifesting, we start focusing on like maybe like the little details of things, which in so many ways can limit the accessibility of, again, what is already trying to come to you. But when you think about that area of your life, what would it look like, right? What would you feel? What would be in your face? The smile, the giggles that would be on your face? What would you be doing? Who would be part of it? Who wouldn't be part of it? What colors do you see? What music are you playing? What are you wearing? What kind of sounds are you making? What kind of plans are going to be part of your day? And I'm being shown this beautiful angel turning up the volume. And as this angel is turning up the volume, they're saying, make it bigger. Make it bigger. Make it wider. Make it stronger. Turn up the volume. And what the angel is saying is, what else is possible if you knew that this is going to be part of your tomorrow? What else would be part of it? Just allow yourself to witness what else would be part of it. Where would you be less afraid? Where would you be much calmer? What thought would you decide to surrender? And now take a moment to say thank you. Take a moment to appreciate. Take a moment to experience gratitude. Take a moment to anchor that celebration. Understanding that in this moment, as you do that, you're engaging this beautiful exchange that happens every day, which is in every moment that we receive, we simultaneously give. So as you take a moment to say thank you, as you take a moment to say yes, as you take a moment to appreciate and be in gratitude, you are simultaneously giving back. And as you inhale, you're opening up yourself up even more to the yes, to the gift, to the overflow that's already yours, that is coming. And once again, thank you. The angel saying, seal it once again with a thank you. With a thank you, a thank you, a thank you. And together, let's go ahead and take a deep breath and release when you're ready. And wherever you're at, just put your hands up as you take another breath in. And exhale. All right, and another deep breath in, and you're about to get everything. You just manifested and invited. Exhale like, yes, here we go. Inhale. Yes, 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 yes. All right, so good. Thank you, everyone. One of the things that I love to witness, and I get to do this. I get to do this with my own group once a month in my own different way, of course, when I do different events. But one of the things that I've come to witness, and we've heard it in the Bible, we've heard it through different teachers, that when more than one gather, anything and everything's possible. So even though some of us don't know each other, we've never communicated or hugged or anything like that, we are interconnected. We're coming together and creating this space of possibilities through the intention of gratitude. We're coming together into a space and into a place that allows us to go more into witnessing what life is trying to deliver to us every day. It helps us to engage something deeper. Thank you. And they're saying something wider that is contained within all of us, but also accessible to all of us. And as we do this together, we come together into a form of creation in which truly everything and anything is possible. So good. So one of the audible things, I'm going to read a little bit of what they said. So again, they said gratitude within and through all things. And I have to say, I hear people often say to me, they're like, oh, your life must be so good, so easy, and so magical, which it is, all of the above. But I've had my share of challenges, of disappointments, of expectations not being met, or certain things not turning out the way that I thought that they should turn out. But I have to say that one of the things that the angels have taught me and reiterated over and over again in this beautiful invitation is that just in the polarity, everything has its polarity. So within all things and within all experiences, even if those things don't match what we are hoping or wanting, there's a gift. There's a gift within the experience of what we believe has been missed, or what we believe has been lost, or what we believe is a huge letdown. There's always a gift on the other side. And the thing that is so magical and inspiring and powerful is that any time and every time thank you. Thank you. And what they're saying is that every time we take a moment to commune what our soul already knows, which is everything is working out in your favor. Life is rigged in your favor. The more we take time to savor that, the more we will witness it in our lives. The more we take time to appreciate the gift within the challenge, the more we step into what I like to call timelines of higher and infinite possibilities in which we see things truly align in miraculous ways. And we look at our situation and we look our challenges and understand that they were there to serve us. You know, and one of the quick challenges I'm going to talk about, because they're asking me, they're showing me to highlight that, you know, when I had a heart attack in 2019, and in 2019, there was a lot going on in my life that engaged a lot of sadness and pain within me. And I have to say my whole experience was miraculous, just because the kind of heart attack I had, the right doctor was there. Everything that needed to align perfectly lined up. But I'm not going to share the story of what happened and what I went through, but I am going to talk about the process of my healing. And my healing started in the ICU. And in the ICU, what I began to do is say thank you. I began to thank my body. I began to appreciate in so many ways that my body was serving me. I started to celebrate and appreciate that everything that had happened within that circumstance was actually saving my life. That my heart attack showed up in my life to save my life, so that I could be a better mother, so that I can be a better teacher, so I can be a better instrument to what I call unconditional love. And I want to celebrate that within that decision, for me to lean into what I can appreciate and truly celebrate and be thankful for. They're wanting me to use the word thankful. The moments that I took to be thankful for the gift that was yet unseen, to be thankful for what was on its way, which to me was healing, to be thankful for what this kept me from moving into. Again, I decided that in that moment, that heart attack saved my life, and it showed up as my best friend. And as I moved into that state of appreciation, my heart and my body healed very quickly and in miraculous ways. And even now, when my heart gets checked and scans have been done, there's no trace of anything has ever happened to my heart, which the doctors have said that that's not common. But to me, that's a miracle. So when we're talking about gratitude and you guys are gathering in this beautiful circle, acknowledging the power of gratitude. Thank you. I love that. Yes. We engage the power of grace. We engage the power of grace. And what does that mean? That the infinite, that which you call God, that which you call source, that which you call soul, thank you, that which you call unconditional love can show up through all things and within all things, regardless of your limitations, regardless of your expectations, regardless of what part of you could be blocking the miracles that are on their way. So gratitude is not just about saying thank you. And appreciating is not just about taking time to enjoy what's there or what has been. Gratitude is a powerful force that helps us to become one with that unconditional love that moves through our bodies, that unconditional love that has brought us into life. When we move into that state of gratitude, we become one with anything and everything that is available, that can bring us into a state of euphoria. Thank you. They're saying the word euphoria, which I love the word euphoria. So there's two forces and two energies that the angels have taught me are the most powerful in this physical world and beyond it. And that's the energy of love and the energy of gratitude. And that in so many ways, those two, even though our human has labeled them as different and as separate, they contain the same vibration. They contain the same power, and they contain the same life force. And anytime you are engaging with one or both, they're saying, or all of them, I'm not sure what all of them they mean, but all of it, right? Anytime we engage with that, we step into a different world and a different reality. And they're actually wanting me to say it that way. We enter a different realm. We enter a completely different realm. And the thing that's so beautiful about that is that we get to see through a different lens. So what has been part of our past, our history, our hurts, our trauma, our own mistakes, all those things become obsolete, if I'm saying that word right. But they're showing me this vision of the spirit, the divine, that which is our I am, pulling us out into a different state of awareness that helps us to perceive, see, respond, and communicate and connect to life in a very different way. And they're showing me this vision. When I was a little girl, they was showing me this beautiful vision. I'd be walking around and it looked like streams of light. And just talking about it gives me yummy chills. But I would be walking and these beautiful, they look like rivers of light, like rivers and rainbows of light. And I would see it moving through everything. And it wasn't like it was separate. It was like this beautiful, it was simultaneous. It's like it was all in one, but yet it had its individuality. But it was this beautiful, thank you. Yes, I would call it the web of light. I'm like, oh, that's the web of light. And this river and this light and this orchestration moves through us, within us, all around us, through everything. They're moving energy to this. And what does that mean? Again, going back to those who are listening to me for the first time. They're moving energy because some of you need to be reminded once again that there is purpose to everything that's part of your life. And within and through all things, it is safe to trust. And no matter what's happening out there, we all have access to a home, an infinite home that in every moment and in every way has access to this river of light. And anytime and every time, and what they're saying is that when we choose to lean into love, into gratitude, into those forces, those life-giving energy forces, which truly help us to remember who we are, when we lean into that, we get to experience, and they're showing me the lens again, right? We get to see life from a point of view, thank you, that allows us to witness and be aware of this river of lights that moves through everything, that allows us to ride the wave where miracles can show up for us daily. Where miracles show up for us, but then we also get pulled into knowing where we are destined to show up as the miracle. I went back to that conversation, thank you, and they're perfect, yes, perfect. You know, in the beginning, when we were doing that exercise of seeing and saying thank you for what's to come, you know, one of the things that I love to celebrate is that when you take time to say thank you, that's your way of giving back. When you take time to appreciate and say gratitude to the life, the presence that you are, even in your uncertainty, you are taking time to give. And you step into a place in which it's not about you. The thank you, the gratitude, it doesn't just bless you, your children, your partner, your business, your circle of influence. It blesses us all collectively, right? Because it's a form of giving. It's a life-giving force. And the thing that's so beautiful, that as we give, we simultaneously receive. So as we simultaneously give, we open up to receive an overflow. We open up to be part of a miracle, thank you, that surpasses what the human has yet seen before. And I know I talk about this here more, that we are in a beautiful pivotal time in human history. And these beautiful circles that Aileen is leading here and Eric is co-hosting and helping with, this is important. This invitation to do this and make it part of your day-to-day life, it's needed. Because it doesn't just bless you, it blesses all of us. The children that will be your children, the future of the future, like it has a lot more to do than just right now. And anytime and every time you take time to breathe in the moment, to be in a state of appreciation as best as you can. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be fancy. It could be a thank you that's coming out of your sobbing because you just can't take it anymore with so much that's going on. Just that simple thank you can just shift things like that. And they're just showing me a woman sobbing. And so I do feel it's someone on the call, and I'm going to try not to get emotional because I could feel it, but thank you. They're saying we're holding your hand. And they're saying, it's interesting, we've been there all along. We've been there. We've been there. We've been there. And what they're saying is that it's time for you to receive. And the way you receive is by giving through the words of thank you. By giving with your gratitude. And by giving with your appreciation. Because know that from there you will receive. And that doesn't just apply to this woman specifically I'm seeing, this applies to all of us. So as we move into a time for us to be able to ask questions, I'm going to go real quick to make sure that I shared everything. Oh, thank you. One of the things that they're highlighting it on my notes. They said, thank you is a proclamation to the yes. Thank you is a proclamation to the yes. You know, it's like in so many ways, we take time to visualize, let's say those that work on manifesting and creating, and we take time to visualize and journal and like see what's unfolding. But the magic, the code to this is gratitude. The secret ingredient is gratitude, because it's our proclamation to the yes. And they had me write the yes in caps. Right? Yes, in caps. Those have heard me before since young. One of the things they would say to me, that one of humans' biggest frailty is our inability to receive what's being given to us every day. Our inability to allow ourselves to receive what's being given to us every day. We feel we need to be worthy. We feel we have to earn it. We feel like we have to do this and this and this. There's so much in the doing. But the reality is, all that we're being asked to do is just to say yes. And we do that by saying thank you. We do that by appreciating. We do that by gratitude. We do that. Thank you. And I love that. They just showed me this beautiful vision that, oh, yes. Showed me a beautiful vision that anytime you take time to say thank you, to be in gratitude, to be in appreciation, we collectively hold hands. So in every moment you take time to do that, they're showing me this beautiful vision of souls holding hands. We hold hands. And what happens again, we lift each other up. We lift each other higher. But again, in humanity, in a bigger scheme of things, the big picture, as a humanity, we lift each other up. And going back to the conversation that, again, we're in a pivotal time in humanity, and more than ever, this is needed. This is needed for all of us. We need each other. And if the only thing you can do today or every day to be part of that collective blessing, thank you. Thank you is enough. Thank you is sufficient. That is powerful enough to bring us more into a place of more of what we are destined and what we're craving for through each other and through what life is ready to deliver to us. All right. Let's see. Oh, and then the last thing they're highlighting here is that when we tune into the chord, we remember. We remember soul, we remember presence, and what life is truly about. We become one with the awareness and love that creates worlds and possibilities. They said, breathe into the heart and receive. And as you receive, just know and remember, you're always giving back. Amen. Thank you. Gratitude. Appreciation. Thank you.
Emily, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you. I want to invite everyone to type in a question on our chat if you have. Please, please feel free to ask questions. And for the first one, maybe I can ask you. You talk about, earlier on in the powerful ritual that you had us go through, and visualization, and you talk about, the feeling, the uplifting feeling too associated with it. And in between, we layer it with thank yous. When that is done, could you tell us, sometimes what happens is you create that package for yourself with love, and then sometimes you're removed from it. What do you do in order to kind of like bring it back so that you remember that, you wrap this wonderful gift for yourself? Because sometimes through, daily chaos or challenges in life, we forget. What do you do for yourself so that you can bring it back and reel yourself again into the beautiful present moment?
Great question. Thank you. So great question, because again, it's relevant to what they started with, right? Gratitude within and through all things, no matter what. And I think sometimes we when we're in it, in the mix of it, they're trying to be funny. They're showing me someone swimming in what will be called, poo-poo. Like, oh, when you're swimming in it, like, how do you feel the gratitude of it? Like, how do you move into it? And I think that it's about, thank you. They're saying it's about pre-imposing the human to always lean to say thank you. And the way you do that is that you make it a daily habit, so that when you have moments like that, So when you have moments like that, because we will all have moments like that, coming home to that space, that gift that you created becomes natural, becomes easier, right? Becomes organic. And it becomes part of our nature, you know, our human nature, because the way that we've been programmed or raised or taught we've been taught to question our worthiness to receive. We've been taught to do that. And we've been taught to allow things to throw us out of that state very quickly, right? It seems like, well, that makes sense. This is happening. Of course, I would lose that feeling. And what they're saying is that now, as adults, and hopefully maybe teens or kids who are listening, or parents now can teach kids, is that, you know, it's our state of mind is always up to us. So the way we do that is we train ourselves, and I think I left it upstairs because I changed my office in between while we were waiting. But I brought this note that I actually have it hanging in my shower. And they're called love notes. So you can go into Amazon, I'm plugging Amazon here, and you can order these. And Aileen, the way that you do that is that, first of all, thank you. I'm going to give you quick steps. They're throwing too many things at once. So first, you put things in your environment that anchor the gratitude back, that anchor that space of connection. That could be the word love, that could be gratitude, that could be thank you, but you anchor it in your environment. So your environment can include your phone and your screen, in your phone screen. But what happens is that anchor reels you back. So even if your conscious mind is not consciously engaging with the anchor that you've put in place, your subconscious is doing the work on your behalf. So as your subconscious is leaning into the anchor that you've placed and decided, this is what this is going to do every time I look at it. This is the invitation. You're in so many ways you're commanding. So for example, I have a feather right on my desk. So this to me is an anchor of inspiration. So whether I'm consciously connecting to it or taking time to connect to inspiration, doesn't matter, because my subconscious has been trained that anytime I see a feather, even when I'm walking around, right, I've been anchored to move into states of appreciation and celebration. Birds for me are anchors. Rainbows are anchors for me, right? It's like there's so many anchors. Like we all do this. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. They're saying it is human nature, based on what we've been taught, to anchor too many things around us that trigger pain and discomfort. It's unfortunate, but we have them, right? So why not why not flood yourself with anchors that have you move into that state of appreciation and gratitude? And how do you do that? Is by deciding the feather, the music, the song, the sky. Like every day I'm constantly looking up into the sky. Clouds are part of my anchor, birds again. So it's like starting to just start with the decision that, again, I am anchoring that these are going to be my triggers. So that decision simultaneously engages creation. That decision simultaneously engages creation. And another thing, they said, make a list of 5 things that will put you back into that state like that. For me, dancing. I love playing my music and I love dancing, even if it's 2-3 minutes, just shaking my booty and enjoying that time. That's a quick trigger back into that gift that you were talking about, that space. You know, another trigger is my brother. I love calling my brother, right? So that's a trigger for me. That puts me back into that place. My mom too. So it's like identifying what are 5 triggers for you that will bring you back into that home. And when you find that you lost it, Aileen, like you're saying, when chaos shows up, go back to those 5 things. Even if it's just one, at least do one, because in the training of it, you will find that it'll become easier and easier and easier as you continue to move forward.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. We have a question from Eric. He's asking, how do you function practically in a day-to-day while swimming in the euphoria or bliss?
That's a great question, right? Because it's an interesting question, Eric, and this is why. If we were, I love that, yes. They're saying our human mind is very adaptable. That's one of our superpowers as humans. We're very, very adaptable, right? We are able to dance through life in more ways than we realize. Like we can adapt, we can respond, we're resourceful. We're way more resourceful than we realize. And the reason that they're saying this, how do you function practically day to day while swimming in the euphoria of bliss, is that that's not something to be figured out. That's not something to try to figure out how to do it or how to, you literally, if you're in a state of euphoria and bliss, you will figure out how to function practically in the day-to-day life, is what they're saying. The reality is that that's meant to be our normal. That's meant to be our normal. You know how I know that's meant to be our normal? Because our children show us that every day. That's meant to be our normal. Our kids are great reminders, especially around the age of what, 1, 2, like they're in that state of like, they're constantly in that place, right? They're in that place of euphoria and bliss. They're playful, they're happy. And I understand that when you go back to, well, how do you function practically? Well, the reality is that in the awareness that you're in as an adult, they want me to repeat that. You learn to dance through life in such a way where euphoria and bliss become part of the answer into how to function practically. I can't say I'm there 100%, but Eric, I have to say, I've had people call me that I have the Pollyanna thing, and I think that's one of the most delicious compliments I've ever gotten. Pollyanna, for those of you know, movie book, it's the girl who's always happy. She goes through life and she's always happy, and the reality is that I function really well. And I function way better than I think most humans, because I'm able to choose bliss and euphoria through all my chaos. My daughter is fully disabled. I have an adult daughter who's fully disabled, feeding tube, wheelchair, 24-hour nursing. And she became my biggest teacher into this truth. She taught me that I had to choose those states of euphoria and bliss through the chaos for her to heal. I had to choose it for her to survive. And she became my master teacher. She became my teacher by showing me that through her pain, she always chose to laugh. She chose to be happy through her challenges. And through her example, she taught me that I could do that too. And the irony is, Eric, is that that's actually more normal and natural to us than the opposite. That's why the opposite feels like crap. That's why the opposite feels so overwhelming. Because deep down inside, we know this isn't in our nature. This isn't our natural, because our soul is living in it. And we're soul. We're soul moving through in a physical body, but we are more soul than this body. Right? Science now is proving that more and more, right? That we're this energy, this component of energy and vibration. That vibration and energy is bliss and euphoria. And we're more that than this human skin. And the more we lean into even just deciding whether it's prayer in your sleep or prayer invitation in your gratitude and your appreciation, like I choose to see life more through that lens of who I really and truly am. But great question, Eric. So good. And I'm not going to pretend I'm always there, but I'm there often. And how did I get there is that I made that a non-negotiable, right? I trained myself to do that. I have anchors everywhere. My life is full of anchors. And it's not just in my environment. It's in the daily, that some daily things that people may consider nonsense. License plates. I get excited over license plates when I see messages and numbers. I get excited with numbers. So I am anchored with a lot of that. But thank you. That was a great question, by the way, Eric.
That was beautifully said. Thank you so much for, wow, choosing to be happy above all. We have another question from Eric, another Eric. He's asking, what are some of your other favorite prayers?
Perfect. So thank you. My baby's on the call, Adam. Thank you. That was really sweet. His comment. I receive it and I appreciate him. It's interesting. Energy just moved to that question. Can we please repeat it? Let me find it. They're moving energy to that. What was the question, Aileen?
It says, what are some of your other favorite prayers?
Okay. So energy is moving to that. And, you know, great question, by the way. This is a great question because from experience, anything that's brought to the moment as a prayer is a powerful prayer. And I'm gonna, what that means is that this is really up to you. It's going to be very unique to all of us pretty much. And what they're saying is that our words, our languaging are going to unlock different parts of us. Remember how I said in the beginning with the word gratitude, appreciation, thank you, amen, you know, gracias in Espanol. You know, it's like there's so many different words that can unlock parts of us. And it's going to be unique for all of us based on our history, based on our experiences, based on how we grew up, based on our environment. So what does that mean? Prayer can look, thank you, they're saying, in many different shades and colors, whatever shades and colors. And prayer, just like I saw earlier with the woman crying, within her weeping, just saying the word thank you, that right there is a powerful prayer for her in those moments. So for me personally, when I've moved into prayer, and I do this a lot, I'm constantly talking to what I call God, what I call angels. I'm constantly in prayer, let's say. But that to me, my communication with them is my prayer. And for me though, when I move into being more intentional, where I'm taking time to pray and invite, I always do it in a state of gratitude. I start by saying thank you for this opportunity in this moment to be here. Thank you for what is already on its way and all the answers that are coming to me. Thank you. I'm so grateful that right now, even though I'm going through this, that I'm going to see the answers and things are going to line up perfectly. And I can start celebrating right now that it is done. And I literally move into my affirmative prayer. That's why it's called affirmative prayer, by affirming what's already done, by affirming. You know, and I actually talked about this in my call yesterday with my group. You know, I grew up Catholic and then I went to a Christian school, but in the Christian school, I would have people share with me, you know, several of the leaders and people there would share with me a few times that they would love how I would pray. And I'm not sure why they want me to share the story, but they said they would love how I would pray. And they said they would love how I would pray because it sounded like I had a personal relationship with God. And that's it. Whether you call it God, source, soul, universe, angels, spirit, we all have access to have a personal relationship with that. And we have it. You know, the only reason we may not be a witness to it is because our human mind is not welcoming it or truly understanding what it is. And it doesn't, when I say thank you, they want me to modify that last statement right there. Our human mind doesn't know what it is. They don't want me to say that, and I apologize. What they want me to say is that we all have a personal relationship with spirit, all of us. And it looks different. And just like any relationship, some of us just have a relationship in which communication isn't happening right now. That's it. That doesn't mean that relationship is gone. It's still there. And prayer is that. Prayer is that opportunity to engage that relationship, to be present with that relationship, to enjoy a beautiful conversation about how you're feeling and what you're welcoming. So great question about prayer. I just want to encourage you that our human can sometimes overcomplicate accidentally. Because I don't think we do it on purpose. None of us want to overcomplicate things, but we've been trained to overcomplicate. And prayer is one of those examples. It's very simple. And again, a prayer could be as simple as an I love you, right? Or a thank you. Or as simple as like, I'm here. And then from there, just allowing yourself to receive and just breathe. So great question.
Thank you so much. That was with clarity. Thank you. We have a question here from Maria. She asks, I've had many situations where being come to me in dreams and in meditation, one surrounding my Reiki table and another I was taking to heaven. Were these my angels, guides? She'd like to get some guidance there.
So great. I want to make sure I respond to that. And can I please also, if I have time, to respond to Tom, because that's a great question as well. They both are great questions. Is that, so I'll try my best to make, I'm going to invite for the time to be expanded here. I've had many situations where being come to me in dreams and in meditations was running. So as I'm reading that, Maria, what I'm hearing is that we're always among you. And they're showing me, I'm actually being shown what looks to me like the Virgin Mary, and I'm being shown you as a little girl, and Mother Mary walking with you and talking to you and playing with you, which I don't know if you remember or if it's something more symbolic for you. But I am just being shown that we're among you, you're among us. They just said we're among you and you're among us. You know, one of the things that angels would say to me when I was little, and I have to admit, I didn't understand it, but now as an adult, I've come to understand it more, is that idea that the angels come to us to help us see who we are. They come to us to mirror back to us what our soul is really about, that it is loving, that it is healing, that it is miraculous and powerful. You know, and angels come to us not to show us that they're separate from us, that they're out here. They come to witness and reveal back, to witness themselves, to witness to us. Thank you. To witness to us what is already part of us. So when you're saying you're having these experiences, you're also getting a chance to witness who you are. This love, this presence, this light, this beautiful embodiment of love. And it sounds like if you're doing it in a Reiki table, that means that you're showing up to serve in love. And of course that would show up to be there with you, because you're being reminded that they're among you and you're among us. So I love that. Thank you, Maria. Great question, or share with us. Thank you. Tom, great question. What about grief at the sudden early death of a loved one? Euphoria and bliss can be hard to find. Tom, I have to say, grief and death are one of the hardest things for us humans to cope with and understand. You know, when I had my heart attack in 2019, it was because my best friend died suddenly, and my dad was slowly dying of cancer. And there was a lot of suffering in that. And then my stepsister was dying of cancer. So grief is very heavy and can be very overwhelming. But I've learned and come to learn through all of that, and is that death seems like an ending here in this physical body, but it just becomes, and I know it's going to sound interesting the way they're wanting me to say it, is that, you know, death as a human feels like an ending, but to the soul, it feels like an upgrade, is what they just said. Death feels like an ending to the human, but it is an upgrade to the soul. Because when we came into life knowing that we were going to always come back home. We agreed to have this journey in this world because we knew we would always go back home. And when things, whether it's suddenly, whether it's even suicide, and I won't go too much into that, but even suddenly, like a tragic death, because I've had that. My cousin died, again, my best friend, my cousin died in an accident, and I would see him. I actually saw him before I found out he had gotten in an accident, and I was a little confused, but he showed himself in such, I'm going to get emotional about it, such beautiful light. So death and grief is challenging for us humans, but that doesn't mean we can't decide through our grieving to see from the other side and from that soul's perspective. When my dad was in his deathbed, he held my hand and he said to me, I am so excited. I'm so looking forward to when I leave. And he said to me, the reason he was looking forward to that is because he was going to be more available to loving me and helping me than he has ever before. And that's all he's ever wanted. And he said that when he leaves his body, he knew that he would be able to offer me the kind of love and support that he always wanted to offer me as his child. that he wouldn't be limited by distance. He wouldn't be limited by money. He wouldn't be limited by time. He wouldn't be limited by anything because he could be there holding my hand. And that's what happens, Tom, when our loved ones cross over. They get to love us in a different way. It's not an ending. They get to love us in a different way. And we get to be loved by them in a different way. And we get to love them in a different way. Because once a person crosses over, it doesn't mean they leave our side. It doesn't mean that they leave. It doesn't mean that they leave. They show up in a different way. And they show up and they're there. Even if you don't hear or see them, they're there. They're talking to you. They're showing themselves to you. They're revealing themselves to you. Sometimes they do it through butterflies, through numbers, through music, through dreams, through moments where we don't even understand why. We feel a moment of peace and we're like, where did that come from? That's them. And even through our anger, they're saying, even through our anger, they show up. Because sometimes, and I see it over and over, and they remind me this, is that just because life ended in the physical doesn't mean their purpose, their vision doesn't continue. We become the portals for their vision. We become the portals to bring forth their life even more. We get to enjoy more of life because they get to experience life through us as well. So the best thing that we can do in our grieving is to take time to appreciate and enjoy our life, because that's how we serve them. That's how we allow them to continue life through us. And again, it's just moving into exploring intuition, intuitive things that you can look into and explore so that you can learn how to cultivate this relationship now that's showing up through spirit. And Tom, again, if you're going through that, my love, my condolences. And again, I from experience and just because I've worked with thousands of people, I know it's not easy. So thank you for being so open and asking that question. That was beautiful.
Thank you so much. Did you want to answer one more question?
I'm sure. I'm open to it. I'm good with time as long as it honors you and everyone here.
I for some odd reason, this last question really, called, and it's from Elaine, and she asked that, she's been told by a very special spiritual teacher that an angel has come to be with me. How can I thank her for her presence and help? Words seems to be not enough. And I got goosebumps when I saw it, and I felt like I would like for you to maybe shine light on this question.
So Elaine, that's a great question. And again, please know that I'm saying this with a lot of love, right? But I'm also saying this with a lot of truth. I said this earlier, that as humans, we can overcomplicate it. And it's one of our flaws. And it's not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's one of our flaws, because know that anytime you have thought, anytime your thought has gone into appreciating this angel's presence, it's been done. It's been heard. It's been received. It's been celebrated. It's been anchored. And, I just spoke with someone the other day, and a loved one came through and a beautiful healing took place. It was beautiful to witness. And at the end of it, she kept saying, please tell him I said, thank you, please. And before I said anything, the man's voice said, I already heard you. And he touched her heart. He touched her heart. I already heard you. So even though she was verbally giving it to me, but her intention to just say thank, like her heart already was exuding gratitude. Her heart was already communicating to spirit, to the angels, to source, to the guides that you have around you, the thank you, the appreciation has already been received. For me personally, I don't know if you've heard me in my conversation here, I'm saying thank you a lot, right? I'm saying thank you. I hear something, I say thank you. That's something I've just been doing. I don't even know how long I've been doing that, but it could be that simple, Elaine. Like you could just, thank you. They're saying, they're actually inviting you. She's inviting you. Oh, this is a fun game. So anybody else can play this game too. So what she's telling me is that she's inviting you to get in front of the mirror, and she's asking you to look at yourself. And what you're going to do, you could do this to an affirmative invitation or prayer. And what you're going to do is just say, I want to see me through your eyes. I want to see I want to see myself through your eyes. That's the invitation they want you to start with. And then what you're going to set the intention is as if you, as you do that, you're inviting the angel to stand in front of you in the mirror, and is the angel is looking at you as much as you're looking at the angel, and you're inviting to witness yourself through her lens. Oh, my heart's beating like this, like excitement. There's excitement in this. And what they're saying is that just like, so good. And apparently this is going to help you, Elaine, move some stuff too. Some doubts and insecurities, which we all have them. Don't worry. that happens. But what she's saying is that as you do that, take a moment, you could just say, thank you. And just notice what you feel. Notice what you feel. I'm getting excited about this. I always say, notice what you notice. Notice what you notice, because some of you are going to feel something. Some of you are going to hear something. Some of you are going to see something. Some of you are just going to dream something later in the day, or you're going to see the miracles and winks, what I call angel winks, show up throughout your day. But a response will be given. Elaine, a response will be given. And anybody and everybody else who does this exercise, a response will be given. And the thing that's exciting, that's the fun part, right? It's like that thank you has already been received, Elaine. So no, that's already been done. But this is an exercise that it's going to help you be more available to having that personal, tangible relationship with her. And you could do this every day if you want, and play with this, and then notice, because they're saying this is a tool that you can use to kind of elevate your own intuitive awareness with feeling, hearing, and connecting with her.
This has been so much fun. I remember I thought, you know what, this is going to be so blissful and so playful and so joyful. What a beautiful, magical treat. Thank you so much, Emily, for just gracing us with your presence and gifting us moments of joy, happiness, and clarity. I wanted to just thank you for answering our Gratitude Circle's questions. I appreciate you. I think Eric wants to say a few words, but I'm just so grateful. I love everything that you do. Thank you.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, that was so needed for me, and I think I sensed it for many people here, that they were glad this all came together and for this night. So thank you for being here and bringing everybody together and answering the questions so beautifully. And I just wanted to come on and just say that thank you to everybody for showing up, for taking the time to be with us tonight and to call in from all over the country and all over the world. And we really appreciate you taking time out of your night, out of your day, out of your morning, depending on where you are, to be with us and to listen to Emily and Eileen. And it was just very beautiful. And we do this every month. So we'll be sending a thank you email tomorrow with a replay and everything you need, and Emily's website and Eileen's as well for the foundation. So I just wanted to hop on and say thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time and I love to celebrate that when anything, again, we co-create together. So everything that came through and was shared, we did it together. So thank you.
And feel free to unmute yourself, everybody, as you log off, to say bye or hi or anything you want.
Yes.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Much love to everybody. What a beautiful, playful circle that we had today. So much magic.
Thank you, Emily, so much. It was wonderful.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Aileen.
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you, Emily. That was beautiful.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Emily.
Thank you.
Bye, Emily. Thank you.
Thank you. I see that's from Cynthia. Thank you.
I think I was let you all know that you were talking
Stephanie. Yes, thank you.
about.